Alright, so it's been a minute. I finally have time to make these videos again. That's awesome, I'm really happy about it. But I did tell myself to jump into making the first one without watching my old ones, because I figured I'd look back on them and be like, yeah, those still suck. Maybe I don't want to do this. And then I pick up my phone today and see a nice comment on my latest video. So that was a really cool feeling. But then it got me watching my last video. I don't know, man. I don't know why I can't just, say things. Because, in my Death Note review, the things I said about the series, it's like the way I talk in real life. But then I say it to my microphone, and it just sounds like bad acting. I don't know if it's because I thought I had to, sound more official to get my point across. I do want to be very clear, but anyway, I'm working on that. I'm actually here to talk about a book called Off to Be the Wizard by Scott Meyer. It's part of his series Magic 2.0. I read the first one about halfway through this year, and it kind of helped me get back to reading fantasy, and that, amongst all the manga I read in the beginning of the year, and some throughout, has been what's kept me going through 2020. More on that at the end of the video. So I'll keep this quick. This book came out in 2014. I read it 6 years later. It was still great. Now, I was very busy this year. I didn't get to get right into reading the rest of the series, but it was like an instant favorite. I love this guy's writing. And when I got done with the book on Kindle, I read that he also has a comic strip. So I checked that out, and that's pretty great too. All in all, it was a fun experience. Here's why I liked this book. So this book is about Martin. This guy Martin finds out that the world we live in is a simulation. Cue the X-Files theme. But he finds out that he can manipulate it. I guess I shouldn't say simulation. I should say it's a computer program, whatever. But he can edit the program, and it changes things IRL to him. In his world. So it's like magic. And when he finds out that what he's doing is getting the wrong type of attention, he chooses to flee to the Middle Ages and act as a wizard. Once there, I can't exactly reveal what happens. That makes me love this book so much and anticipate reading the rest of the series like crazy, because it's a spoiler, but it goes hard. The story expands, it's a lot of fun, and like I said, I love Scott Meyer's writing. This was a really fun find for me. So I would say Scott Meyer, in this book anyway, has a very consistent sense of humor, if that makes any sense. And that may or may not bother people, I don't know. I personally grew up reading whole-ass fantasy series with consistent type of humor. Biggest examples there, the Percy Jackson series and Harry Potter. So it also low-key could be a nostalgia thing. I don't know. But if it's done well, I like it. It didn't take me long to get through it all. I just wanted to keep reading because it was funny. I was invested in the characters, and there were surprises too. Reading it on Kindle also could have helped with that. I just got a new Kindle when I had got this book, so that was fun. Speaking of which, this book is on Kindle Unlimited. The audiobook is also $2, or you can just buy the Kindle edition for $4. And then I think do the Whisper Sync. Well, if not, the audiobook is $2 alone. I read it on Kindle, although I do love audiobooks. That's actually what tipped me off about this book, was an Audible sale. And I love Audible sales. It was part of their 2 titles for 1 credit sale, which is great. I'm very thankful for those. I think it's kind of annoying that books like this are on there, though. I can't say too annoying. That's the reason I found this book, but it's like a dirty trick. If the audiobook itself is $2, that's not really a great bargain that I'm getting it on a 2-for-1 sale. But anyway, I'm going to be honest, I probably have to be a little more well-read before I start making recommendations like this, but I'll say, if you like Percy Jackson and Harry Potter, and you like sci-fi, you should read this book. If anyone watching this has read this book, and they also love it, or hate it, really whatever, you want to talk to me about it, I will totally do a spoiler video. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to get to the rest of the series. Good transition there. I do want to get to the rest of the series, but I couldn't do that right away because I was busy, and that kept happening. I didn't get to marathon a lot of things after about the 2nd month into the pandemic. My life got crazy, as did most people's. I'm actually thankful I didn't have nearly as tough of a time as a lot of people. This is actually a good point to say that's my little review of the book, and if that's all you wanted to see, peace, Happy New Year. Anyway, this year, terrible. I hope all is well with anyone watching this, but we all know what's going on. We're all hoping tonight at midnight 2021 actually comes, and Although no meaning is actually linked to the new year, I'm hoping for the best. Now, this wasn't the first series that I couldn't marathon because of 2020. This year broke my spirit of hobbies in a lot of ways. I read this book in about August, but off the top of my head, this is the first fantasy book I read this year, I'm pretty sure. And then that kind of set me on a trend. So when I had free time, and Audible especially helped with this, I got into fantasy again, and it's still such a good escape, well into my adult years with all the stress I had. And it's been good. So I hope 2021 is filled with more of Scott Meyer's writing. While I was working and commuting and doing other things, I finished listening to the Harry Potter series this year. So that would be a reread, because I read them as a kid, like a lot of people have. Except my wife. She waited till she was like 17. I know, blasphemous. She also likes the prequel Star Wars better than the originals. Listen, it's not your problem, it's mine. And then I also got back to reading The Chronicles of Narnia at the tail end of the year. 1 week ago, actually. And that's been a lot of fun, because I never finished that series. I'm getting a little bit rambly here, but I guess what I'm really saying is, I should stop complaining. My 2020 wasn't as bad as it could have been. But doing part-time school and working more than full-time, that would be why I hadn't made any videos for a minute now. So, for my few subscribers I have, or, for anyone who may have watched my first couple videos and then wanted to see more, thanks for sticking around. And I read a lot of manga this year that I want to talk about, especially in the second and third quarter of the year, but then also a lot recently to get ready to start making videos again. And it was so much fun. I finished Bakuman, obviously. That was, talked about that in my video from early on in the year. So, I would hope I was 3 books from the end or whatever. Loved that. Very motivational. And then I've been reading a lot of stuff from my childhood, and that's been fun, and can't wait to talk about it. Now I'm repeating myself. I'm gonna end this now. If you can hear that, that is my cat. He's got the zoomies. His name is Hobbs, so he's living up to his name. He's actually destroying my place right now. And now he's staring at me. If you have a cat, you know what that's like. If you don't, you probably think I'm high, but whatever. Have a happy new year. I'm going to try to as well. I'm probably going to go watch Jumanji, because that was my plan, because, yeah, I've seen the memes, and I agree, this whole year felt like a game of Jumanji. So, yeah, let me know what helped you guys make it through this year, and honestly, good job. It was a challenge for all of us, and not everyone did, so be proud of yourself. And I guess I'll talk to you in 2021.